Welcome to the Mindset Architect Podcast, where it's all about creating the life you want, the business you want, and making a real difference. Join us in unlocking the code to true success. And now your host, Tony Caliendo, Master Coach with Rethink Coaching.
Welcome to the Mindset Architect Podcast, episode number 14. I'm Tony Caliendo, Master Coach here at Rethink Coaching. And as always, I want to thank you for sharing your time with me. Today, I want to talk about one of my favorite universal laws. Now, here, I don't know who the originator was. If you Google it, you're going to find a million different people have used it. I certainly didn't create it, but it is something that I do live by when I'm either setting a goal or I'm looking to make a decision in my life that needs a little bit more substance to it in order to make sure I'm making the right decision. And that universal law that I want to talk to you about today is clarity is power. And I want you to sit with that for a moment and think about it. Clarity is power. I want you to think about a time in your life where you were crystal clear about something and the energy that you were able to cultivate from that clarity that helped you achieve a goal or move forward in life. Because you see, a lot of times we're doing this and we're not really just aware of why or how it's working so well. And so one of my favorite things is to be crystal clear, because I know clarity is power. And in order for us to show up as powerful human beings, moving towards a work goal or a personal goal, the clearer that we can be, the more important. So I want to talk to you about if you're setting a goal, whether it's your upcoming year goal, whether it's a right now goal, whether it's a life goal, it does not matter. I want you to think about a time that you've set a goal, you set it out there, you were excited about the goal, but you didn't stay as motivated or as driven as you could have as you got into doing the work and the strategies of what was necessary to move you towards that goal. And I personally believe that happens a lot of time when we don't attach emotion or complete understanding as to why that goal we set is so important. And so there's two really important questions that I ask myself both when I'm setting a goal and when I'm faced with a difficult decision or a decision that I'm uncertain of. You find yourself kind of vacillating. Could I not? Should I, shouldn't I? What are the pros? What are the cons? These are two great questions to even ask yourself during that time. So number one, when we're setting a goal, I want you to ask yourself this question first. So you've set your goal. And let's just say in the world that we live in, where we coach a lot of real estate agents, we are coaching someone who has set a goal to earn $500,000 by selling a certain amount of homes at a specific sales price. So we've set the goal and we feel like we're crystal clear. All right, here's what I know. We're crystal clear on a number. That's it. That is not enough to keep us in motion when times get tough. When things get challenging, it may seem like it, but when you get kicked in the teeth, which sometimes happens because of external circumstances changing, if you don't have that emotional piece, you will most likely default to old behaviors and put your goal at risk. However, if you've asked yourself these two powerful questions, what's important about this goal to me? And this is where I want you to get really clear and spend some time. This is not a just breeze through, ask yourself this question and think about two things and move on. This is a grab your journal, grab a piece of paper and pen, turn to your electronic device to type out and get some thoughts out of your brain onto paper or electronic paper, really to think about what's important about this goal to me. And I want you to sit with that for a while until you've dumped everything out of your brain about what's important to you about that goal. So it could be that it will create financial freedom for you. It could be that it will allow for you to invest in other opportunities and earn even more money. It could be the impact it's going to have on you can be big. So I want you to really spend some time thinking about what's important about this goal to me. Now, once you've depleted that and you've dumped everything out, and again, this is not a 30-second exercise. This is really taking some time. I now want you to ask yourself, what's important about this goal to those who are attached to me. And so that can be a spouse, it can be kids, it can be parents, it can be friends, it can be a charitable organization that you feel strongly about. It could be a religious organization that you feel strongly about. It's whatever is impacted by you hitting that income goal that you're setting for yourself or that specific goal that you're setting for yourself. Who all is impacted? And I really want you to sit with that and ask yourself, what's important about this goal to my spouse? What's important about this goal to my kids, to my nieces and nephews, to the charitable organization that I contribute heavily to through my earning income? And I want you to sit with that and talk about it. So an example might be, hey, what's important about this goal to my spouse? Well, if I hit this income goal, let's say it's $500,000, that means that my spouse could actually leave the job that they're miserable in and either come join me in my business or take some time to go find out what they want to do. It could be they need to go back and get a certification. They need to go back and get a degree. They need to just take 3 to 6 months to find the right job. I want you to really think about it in terms of what's important about this goal to everybody that's attached to you. You know, for me, I volunteer out at the animal shelter here in Santa Fe. And if I ask myself what's important about this goal to that organization, it's really simple. I can donate more, which means more animals can be fed, being given vet care, and stay in the clinic for a little bit longer to get healthy. So I know the impact it has on that. When I tie this all together, right, when I tie in the impact that or what's important about the goal to me and everybody and everything connected to me, suddenly it's not just a number goal. Suddenly it's a game changing goal because I'm starting to see the ripple effect that this goal is going to have on myself and those that are connected to me. The next thing I want you to ask yourself again, and this is not a 2-second exercise, is to sit with and ask yourself the question of what's the desired emotional outcome that I have when it comes to this goal? And so you might be like, well, they're kind of the same. They're not. Okay. Those are more impact. When I think about what's important about this goal to me, a lot of it is the impact it's going to have and what it's going to allow me to do, what it's going to allow me to do with my money, what it's going to allow me to do for other people that are connected to me. When I think about the emotional outcome desired for myself, this is a big difference. So I will share with you personally when I set my goals. And this is a question that my coach asks me often is, you know, what's the emotional outcome desired when you achieve this goal? And for a lot of many years, I never thought about this. But right now, what's really critical and important for me from an emotional outcome is to experience peace and joy. Because the big income goal is not as important to me if it happens without peace or it happens by lacking joy. And gosh, once I got crystal clear on that my financial goal needed an emotional outcome of peace and joy, how I showed up changed. It allowed me to be more purposeful with my time. It allowed me to find more balance. And we've talked about balance before, about the wheel of life, but it allowed me to be more intentional about my balance. And it also allowed me to be more aware of what I was doing. Like I have a tendency to show up at a level 10 at all times, and to ratchet down from that at the end of the day to where I can experience some peace in my brain is really difficult for me, or it was difficult for me because I never really focused on what's the emotional outcome that I want to receive from this. And for me, the income goal does a lot of things, but if it disrupts my peace or joy, I have to change it in a way that I'm attacking it in a direction or a way that allows me to experience peace and joy. And so knowing what's important and then also knowing about the emotional impact, the game changers, right? It changes from just this financial goal or just this number to having a lot of meaning to it and to allowing me to see the ripple effect that I have on everything that I have the potential to make a difference in if I'm achieving a certain financial income goal for myself. And then also the impact on others and that emotional piece. So this is really big when you're looking at setting a goal because it brings that goal to life. Let's be honest, we've all set a goal, been pretty excited about it, got to work on it, and then stuff happens, life happens, and we kind of get kicked in the teeth and we get knocked down. And if we're not leaning into what's important about this goal and what's the emotional desired outcome that I have for this goal, it really does become just a number, and it can almost become a number that you resent because it's just a number versus I see it as Santa Fe Animal Shelter. I see it as my spouse. I see it as other things that I like to do with my money. And so it becomes a little bit more real. So I'm going to ask you to spend some time doing that. The other way that these two questions are so powerful is if you've ever been put in a position that you have to make a decision that you just aren't like clear, like you're like, okay, yes or no, where you're vacillating back and forth, you're uncertain if you should or you shouldn't, right? And you're really pausing before you make a decision. These two same questions can be really powerful in helping you decide if you want to engage or disengage or agree to or disagree to do something. So if you just ask yourself, hey, what's important about this if I said yes? What's important about this if I said no? Who is also going to be impacted if I say yes, right? So what's important about this decision to my spouse, to my family, to my organizations? What's important? And you can really get clear on whether this decision is going to move you in a direction of supporting all of the things, including yourself, that are impacted by this decision about it being what's important about it. All right. So just think about it in terms of if I make this decision and I agree to do it, what's important about this to me and what's important about it to the people that are connected to me. And then also ask yourself, what's the emotional impact that making this decision would have? For me, if I feel like it's going to rob me of peace or joy, boy, it makes it easier for me to pass on something, to say no to something. And it could be a big project that a company asked me to participate in. It can be as simple as taking one more client in my one-on-one. I really lean into these questions when I'm uncertain about a decision that I need to make. So I hope this helps you out in really leaning into that universal law of clarity is power. These are two great ways that I gain clarity and that I can take my power and move forward towards my goals because, see, it's not just a number anymore. I've really brought it to life and I see it almost as a being. I just see it as it's a living thing. It's not just a number on paper that if I hit would be great. So think about that. And the other thing I'm going to say, which I think my clients probably have threatened to engrave on my tombstone, is are you crystal clear? And I do believe these two questions that we ask ourselves can bring that level of clarity. Because just like anything else, right? If you're semi-clear, right? Clarity is power. If I've got, like I'm a C on the clarity scale, where do you think my power is going to be? Right? Like if on a scale of 0 to 10, my clarity is a 7, then you have to imagine that your power is only going to be a level 7. So the clearer you can get, or as I like to say, are you crystal clear? That is going to impact the amount of power that you have. So, think about it as, your windshield, is dirty and it's kind of hard to see. You can see it's kind of clear, but it's not crystal clear. And you either use the washer, to clean the windshield, or you go through a car wash. And in that moment, things become crystal clear. And you can see things better in front of you. You can see things better around you. You just can feel more relaxed because you've got crystal clear vision. That's what I'm going to ask you to focus on when you think about this universal law. Clarity is power, and your power is only as good as the level of clarity that you have. So do yourself a favor and ask yourself those two questions when you're setting a goal. And also if you're in kind of at a crossroads about a decision to either do something or to not do something. So my friends, go enjoy. If you found this helpful today, I'm going to ask you just share it with some friends, let them know, because I think as a collective energy, When we can share things like this with somebody that you know can use this, gosh, it makes a difference in their world. Just a little act of kindness about sharing some information with somebody that can change their trajectory of their life is a huge gift. So if you know of somebody who's struggling a little bit with their power or with being clear, have them take a listen. I appreciate you. I truly do. If I can help you, you know how to reach me. Always here to help you out. Go make it a powerful week. Gain your clarity, my friends, and your power will change. We'll talk to you soon. If you enjoyed listening to this podcast, you must come check out the Mindset Architect Group Coaching Program. It's our monthly program where we explore the power of your mindset, help you identify what you truly want in business and life, and then help you reach those goals. Come check us out at rethinkcoaching.com/group-program. That's rethinkcoaching.com/group-program. We'll see you there.